Move over, Dr. Evil, because I found a new fictional amount of currency, and I'm a zillionaire. This is the Zillion driver from Kamen Rider Gates. Basically, the final boss of drivers. So we have a picture of Kamen Rider Regad here, the Zillion driver active. The Desire Grand Prix logo right there. Some stuff. It says its name. We have Regad Omega here. And we have Gazer Zero on the top. And oh yeah, Sad Pac-Man. So let's remove this piece of tape and take a look at the Zillion driver. I've been playing with this for weeks now, and I love this thing. It's so much fun to play with. So, first off, it's bigger than I thought it would be. Definitely not what she said. And obviously it has this piece attached to it out of the box. You could unscrew the back and probably remove it if you wanted to. It's integral to one of the forms, so I don't see a reason why you want to. But you can also come to the battery pack right there. I believe it's 3 AAAs. No, it's probably like 2 double A's. I don't feel like poking it right now. Maybe with the sword. Nah, shouldn't do that. But you do have your on-off switch right there. Your speaker is right up there. And that thing, which will be important in a second. Yeah. I love the gold, the shiny. Let's just look at that screen again. You can see me. It's so reflective. Can I get it? Yep. Also included are these belt pieces and this card holder with an ominous black card in it. So I'm going to put it on and we'll listen to the sounds. So turn it on, and in default, it's Kamen Rider Regad, who's Zit. That's just a funny name. Basically, one of the Game Master's right-hand man of the big bad. And I haven't even watched an episode of Gates, but I've watched clips, and I've never seen a clip of him other than him transforming. This driver has what feels like every single thing he said in the show, because it's got 17 voice clips by pressing the button right here. Count along, folks. And then we're back to the start. Alright. So to transform, it's right here, and it's not a button. It's a sensor, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I like it because it's kind of unique, but it also is very easy to set off. And then, just like your wife does when she's ordering thousands of dollars of useless products, we're going to swipe. But first, I like the driver to say it for me. So that is an awesome light show, and an attempt at doing 3D depth of light, which is really cool. And even in Transform, you have 3 additional sound effects from Zit. And pressing the sensor, you can speed up time. I guess he's the Flash. Although, apparently in the most recent Flash, though, they did an imitation of like a power, like a Kamen Rider thing, which didn't look nearly as cool. And you also can swipe the card once or twice, and each one will give you a different sound for final attack. So we got Expunge and Destroy. I want to give a close-up of this card, the black card. I think it's the Providence card. So the card with the Vision Driver is the Providence card. This is the Sirius card. Why so serious? But I like the look of it. Translucent black plastic, gold and red is a very nice combo. It's a texture on the back, a little bit of molding right here. And so, one other thing you can do is grab buckles. Oh, and after a minute of inactivity, it will power down. But if you grab, say, a zombie and slide it right next to the button, you get a different attack. And it is a proper reader. It will read every single buckle you have and give the corresponding sound effect. But we're going to let this power down because we have 2 other modes to get into. It's literally a minute, which is too long when you want to make a short video. There you go. Now, to switch modes, you have to turn it off and turn it back on. For Regot Omega, you have to turn it on while holding this side button. You'll know it worked when the light goes red. And now the button prompts are reversed. The touch sensor gives sounds from Soul, Seul. Basically, the main bad guy. He absorbed Zit after Zit got defeated and became Regad Omega. He also, earlier in the show, was Gazer Soul. It's like the only difference between Gazer and Gazer Soul was Gazer Soul's like lines on his face were red instead of gold. But also every game master pretty much has a vision driver. So presumably Zit had a vision driver he never used when he used this instead, which this is a remold of the vision driver. So we have 10 sound effects from Soul to start with. No, actually, 10 sounds after transformation. We have like 4 when you scan when you. Sounds deliciously happy to be evil. And he can get angry. And to transform, you actually press the button. And he can still talk while the button's being pressed, but that sound is basically, how can I announce that I'm evil? Oh yeah, creation and master of all, not magnetism. And if you couldn't hear for Regad, it was enforcement of violence. That's awesome. So now we have 10 sounds from I lost count, but I think we definitely. So to activate the control of time, you press this button now. So he can speed up time, but if you press it twice, he can rewind time. And you still have the expunge and the destroy. Just with red lighting now. Although the sounds with this are not different. I could grab Magnum or Boost, but use Zombie. Although if you have Legend Rider buckles, which I don't at the moment, they will announce the final form of that rider instead of the base form. Instead of waiting for the power down sound, we're going to go into the third mode, and to do that, you have to hold the card in the slot, because there's a little button there, and then turn it on. And the light will go green. And now you're in Gazer Zero, whose name I forgot. Gazer Zero's name is Nemiru, who's a disgraced former producer of the Desire Grand Prix. The more you know, the more you know. But he's basically the one that's trying to make the Yamato stronger. The Yamato being like the grunts. The enemies for the main characters to beat up in their hundreds. They're not supposed to be strong, but he's one of the ones that's heavily influencing them. It's kind of amusing that he is using the powers of Kamen Rider Ichigo, who cares so much for humanity, and yet he's described as not caring about humanity at all. I don't know if that's irony, but that was kind of interesting. And there are no voice clips from him, because he wasn't in the main show. He was in like a side project where he fought Gazer. So I guess they didn't want to spoil what he was going to say beforehand, so there are no sound clips, but I'll get to recreate his transformation pose. Why did he do this? Why did he feel the need to do this? Henshin! Like, I get that not a Nazi salute is a throwback to Ichigo, because, you know, he basically fought Nazis, so it was... But, like, why did he need to stick the card in his mouth? Just to be extra, I guess. Now his sound effects are changed. He doesn't have the accelerate, instead he has... Which makes sense. Ichigo's powers are based on wind. Cyclone Driver, basically. And then you also have two different sounds scanning the card, swiping the card. And use zombie again, but the sounds didn't change. So that is it. I love this driver. Honestly, before I bought this, I wasn't a big fan of drivers that don't like incorporate the transformation items as part of them, like sticking them in a slot. I'm looking at my gamer driver, 01 driver, Revice driver, things like that, where like you stick it somewhere and it's attached to it. Like, I thought I wasn't a fan of them because, like, the Demons driver, the stamps don't they interact with it, but they stamp on front, and then you just put them off to the side. So that doesn't seem like a good use to me. But I kind of felt like I had to pick up a version of this belt, like either the Vision driver or the Zillion driver, and I really like this. I've been playing with it basically nonstop. Turning you off. Been playing with it nonstop pretty much since I did that unboxing, and I'm still having so much fun with it. Like, sliding the card is really fun to do. Just play with all the sounds. It's like it doesn't get boring. And sometimes a Kamen Rider belt can get boring if you play with all the sounds. It's like, oh, I went through all the sounds and okay, I'm kind of tired of you right now. Like, I can go through each mode and then before I get tired, switch to a different mode. He's new. Just got him. Hey, Rocky. In my head, you're Rocky. Him and Tommy are hanging out there. So yeah, I recommend this driver. It's really fun to play with. You may have seen me walking around a local convention wearing it and this shirt. So, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you at Comic-Con later this year. And maybe I'll wear this driver again. Maybe I'll wear a different one. Who knows? But until then, keep it weird. Bye. Another thing I wanted to point out is this is the only transformation thing you need. Like, you can access every single sound right out of the box, which is a double-edged card. Like, great, you have access to everything, you don't need additional things, but say you lose this. You can't use the toy anymore. You can't transform. And you could get the one from the Vision driver, because it's the same mold, but, like, still, that's probably my only little nitpick is what happens if you lose this? Well, then just don't lose it, dummy, says Bandai. Fair enough.